stomp it out before it even gets started. Because I don't have time for this. I got better things that I could be doing instead of spending my time trying to figure out how to please you. If you don't know, then that's your problem. That's right. But I'm just telling you how it came out to me. So I went on in and he gave me the book of Songs, the Song of Songs. And in this book is just a poetry, a book of poetry. It's just a book of poetry about love songs. Of love. That's all it is. God is love. That's what it's just be telling us. It's no specific order, but this is a book about Solomon. Solomon met this peasant woman. Okay, he met her in the vines. In the midst of him meeting her in the vines, she ran away from him. And when she ran away from him, Solomon in his mind said, you know what, I'm going to find this lady because I love her. I have a deep love for her, and I don't even know anything about it. Well, it came back to me where he said that he that findeth a wife findeth a good thing and obtaineth favor. So anyway, when it comes back, he came back, and one thing about it in this book, I found that the term beloved was used 31 times. Oh, wow. All right. Just in this book alone, beloved was it 31 times. So in this song, they use words like enduring words, like in endearing terms to them. So I had to ask the question, well, how do you talk to your spouse? What do you call him? Come on now. These are things that matter. You say, yo. Hey, bro. What's good? Or do you say, hey, love? What you got? Honey? Boo? Baby. What do you call him? My husband, I used to call him, that. Or babe, you're right. I used to call him Mr. and then he went from Mr. He went to my babe, now he's my dude. Because we've been in this thing for a long time. So we graduate. As we graduate, it gets bigger, bigger, and bigger. So in this, my question is to you, what do you call him? How do you approach him? How do you, the same way that you want him to approach you? Not, hey, girl. Or you want him to say, hey, sweetie. Hey, boo, how you doing? That's the same thing that we have to give back to them. Because guess what? We are created women, knowing your value, knowing your worth. We're created to give back. We give back what's given to us. That's right. And so in doing that, in how you approach him and what you're saying to him, it makes a difference. If I come up to him and I say, look, dude. He's going to say, well, what's wrong with you? But if I go and say, hey, dude, what's going on? There's a difference. It's perception. It's not so much as what you say, it's how it proceeds out of your mouth. So if you come up with a negative attitude, their defense automatically goes up, and they're going to defend themselves. Hey, well, don't you be coming at me like that. You better know who I am. Those are some of the side thoughts that come in their mind. So again, that's my first point, is how you're approaching them. Your talk game. How strong is your talk game? On what level is it on? What kind of love language are you speaking?
That's right. That's right. Come on.
That can make a difference. When he had a long day at work and you come home talking about, yo, or the first thing you do is doing this right here, he don't want to hear that.
That's right.
He don't want to hear that. Then you got the audacity to be mad because he ain't listening to you. And if you like me, what you're not going to do is ignore me. That's what you're not going to do. Now you can do everything in the world, but ignoring me is not the business. And I've been here, and my job is just as big because I'm dealing with these kids, and you're going to ignore me? No, you better come again. You got me bent. I need you to come again. Out of shape. But it's me learning how to approach him. Me learning how to say, instead of putting me on the back burner and saying, hey, babe, how was your day? How did things work for you? What can I do to make your evening a little bit more pleasant? So that's the first thing that we got to know. And in this, what they did is when she said in verse 3, she was saying that she was screaming out his name. And one thing that she recognized in Solomon's name, she used it as the description, the oil was poured out. His name was poured out like oil. You know what I mean? She loved calling on his name. There you go. That's your man. Right. You ought to love calling on his name. That's right. I don't care if it's 65 times. That's 66 times. You better call on his name. Because let's be honest. Peach, if you don't, sell by the corner will. Sure will. Wait, honey. He don't have no respect for your ring, your piece of paper, or your name or nothing. She's ready, sitting back, locked, ready, and loaded to take what you got. By calling know his name. Hey, that's what she got to say. Hey. It was, her name was poured, her spouse's name was poured out. So we got to learn in how to not only speak in their language, but how to approach them, how to talk to them. The same way you want him to do you and call your name, the same way you want him to call your name out and acknowledge you, is the same thing you got to give back to him.
That's right.
In order to keep this thing going. You have to. What you did to get it, wait a minute, and then you got to work a little bit more in order to go past that. And then you got to work a little bit harder to go past that. It's always a goal. When you're in marriage and you're in a relationship, there's no ending to this thing. You got to look beyond. Don't look at the now. You got to look beyond your now. Especially if you like me, you put that fire out before it burns. Because I'm going to tell you now, tell my husband, I divorce him every 62 days. I kid you not, I'm the first one to tell you on that 62nd day, he divorced. By the time he hit 42, West going up on 7, I done divorced it. Because you done worked my nerves. And I be saying, look, John Brown, you got about 10 seconds to get up out of this house before I set this whole game off. Why? Because he didn't work my nerves. I don't want to call him nothing. And things I want to call him, you don't want to hear that. Yeah. And things that I'm saying, I want to do that. But these are things that we experience as women. And first, we got to be honest with ourselves.
That's right.
Your marriage ain't all peaches and cream.
That's right. Come on now.
If it was, I need you to sit down and tell me. I need you to put that in a formula, because you're going to make millions on that. So every 62nd day, I try to tell, look, go. Because I don't like you today. There is nothing that don't you text me, don't you call me, talk about, hey babe, don't you send me no emoji, because I ain't trying to hear that. I'm not even, when it say read the mail, I'm not even going to read it. I'm going to keep on scrolling. Because I didn't reach that point. There's nothing that you can say to me, because we get to that point. We get to a better point. I don't want to call you dude. Yo, look. It is what it is. So in knowing this, we got to know, it boils down to, she said, our self-worth. It all boils down, we got the language, how we talk to them, how they speak to us, the words that we use. We got to be mindful of the words that we use, because they'll come back and hurt you. That cliche, sticks and stones may break your bones, but words that never hurt, is a lie from the pit. Words hurt. And the only thing you cannot take them back.
That's right.
And think about it. Once they set out in the atmosphere, it's over.
Oh yeah.
Manifestation time. So you be mindful of your words. And the next thing I have is about appearance. Now listen, we all got flaws. I know I do. I can suck, tuck, pose, do all I got to do. Oh, there you go, girl. But I got some flaws. I don't care how much I tuck it and puck it and do it all I want to. I still got some issues with me. Some insecurities with me. So guess what? If you got insecurities about you, how do you expect him to be secure about you?
Come on. That's right. That's right.
If you ain't even confident in you, don't look for him to be confident. If you can't, again, tell yourself you look, hey girl, I done tried to told you you look real cute today. Don't you even think that he's going to forget to tell you. And one thing that you already know what it is, Jack. Done tried to tell him. I used to look for my husband to tell me these things. And I felt like if I'd say, dude, I said, how you like this? How you like it? What the freak? I asked you to tell me. How did you like it? Because what I'm doing things to please him, because when I step out, I'm representing our name. We're a team. So I want to make sure what I've got on in my appearance measures up to you.
That's right.
And you're going to ask me what you think? No, it's what you think. But then I had to go back and realize that if I'm confident in me and I know it's okay, then I got to believe that he knows that it's okay.
That's right.
And say no more. But it took me a minute to get there. Ain't no lie. Took me some huss, some puss. I divorced him before 62 days. Man, don't talk to me. Don't say nothing to me. Because guess what? In my mind, I'm going to keep it real. In my mind, well, if you can't tell me, show somebody that. You got to tell me. But that was my mindset. So I had to go back and change my mindset that it's all about Team Davis.
Yes,
so anything that you do, walking in confidence, saying these things in confidence, it's all about your team. Whatever is your team or whatever your team is going to be. You have to keep those things in mind. And your parents. Girl, I put on makeup, I ain't going nowhere. Ain't going not a place, not a nothing. I put it on there just to try something out, put it on, take it off, oh, I'm good, and keep on going. So with that, when I come home, that's a little boost to give me. When I come home, I know how to respond to him. I know how to feed off of him in a positive way. Because if I'm positive, then he's going to be positive.
That's right. It's true.
Let's do it, because after a long day's work, he don't want you to come. You don't want to come home talking about how I look. Well, you've been here all day. You talking about how you look. You should know. So these are things that we can do to keep it going. Be an eye catch. Be eye candy to them.
That's right.
I done told you about Susie. And remember, she got a sister named Maria and a cousin named April.
Oh, yes, girl. That's right.
And next thing you know, they'll all team up on you for yours.
That's right.
Because guess what? They know that you got something good. And they'll do whatever it takes. If they got to strut, turn, and whatever they got to do, guess what? They're going to do it. They're going to work it to get what you have. And now, guess what? You begin... Men like their ego stroked. Let's just say that. We like words of affirmation. They like their ego stroked. So in doing that, guess what? You do things, and Mary and Sarah and April getting up on you, and they begin to stroke his ego. And next thing they didn't stroke another time. Next thing he going in that direction. Why? Because his ego being stroked. He don't get up in the morning and say, I'm just going there. He's getting up there because guess what? The love language that you're speaking to him, his tank is empty, so you're not feeling it. But guess what? April, Mary and Susan and all of them are beginning to impart into his love tank, and they're beginning to fill that up, so he gonna walk in that direction. So we got to make sure that what we're imparting through our appearance, through our talk, through our confidence, we got to make sure what we're doing is abiding by to keep the flame burning between you and him.
That's right.
You have to. If not, again, you already know who's going to get it. You already know. And another thing I tell you, almost the last but not least, guess what? Sex.
Yeah.
Come on.
Tell us about it. Tell us about it.
That's interesting.
You can jump all the way around it. You can avoid it. You can dress it up. Put it however you want to. But in this book of Psalms, Psalm tells it, and I did it. Psalm tells it this is the book of love, and this is where God wants us to do. This is why man was made for woman.
That's right. Yes.
Was created for each other to love on each other.
That's right.
Because the term love has been so executed, has so been drawn out. Marriage has so been torn through the ground that the first thing we holler now is divorce court. So you really don't know the meaning of love or being sexual active in your marriage. That's why we got these babies. There's a need that's being met on both ends. Man was created for woman. And these are things that people do not want to talk about, but guess what? It's real. It's reality.
Talk about it.
I ain't knocking nobody, nothing, in whatever denomination you in or whatever church, but the church ain't talking about it.
No,
They're not talking about it.
And
then you go out in the streets and you wonder why that the kids are now, or women now, or they're on the street. Because that's where it's being taught. I didn't say it was the right way, but that's what they're being taught. And they're more knowledgeable out on the street. And when they come to you, you got the hush mouth. No, let's keep it real. You have to keep the passion burning. You have to keep sex in your marriage.
Most definitely.
You have to. Why are you withholding yourself?
I know that's
You did it
right.
before you married him. What's the difference? You married to him before, and now you got the nerve to limit him. Now you got the
sir.
It'll come to your door now from what I hear.
My God.
And then you wondering what happened. And the first thing you're going to ask them is why. Infidelity sets in. Why did you do that? Well, because of what you did. It ain't so much as what we did. How about what we didn't do?
That's right.
You've got to figure out what satisfies your spouse. What turns your spouse on. Even when you don't want to. Your want better want.
That's right, girl.
It better speak for itself. Again, I'm telling you, even on that 62nd day, if I don't want them, I'm going to make myself want it.
That's right.
I'm just keeping it real. I better make it pretend like.
That's right.
Because again, it's real. This is a problem in the marriage. The first thing you do when you get mad, no. What?
I like it too much.
I know that's right.
Me too.
Now, if you want to get a biblical term, it's in the Bible. Read Psalms. He said that the bedroom is undefiled.
That's right.
Thank you.
Honey boo, whatever go in your bedroom, that's your bedroom.
That's right.
As long as dude come out, please, I ain't got no problem. It is what it is. For those that's holier than now, that's in the Bible.
For the extra.
That is.
That's right.
That's what it is. So you gotta know that in doing this, in doing this, this peasant said, and this is my last point, and I am so done. He said that she said that she asked him to catch the foxes. And what it was, the fox would dig holes that would loosen the root of the vines and they would spoil the vine. Certain things, when I'm saying this, is certain things that you can allow to get in between you and your spouse to spoil your vine.
That's exactly right. That's right.
For the children,
You all right?
family, the job, caseworkers,
Finances.
money,
Yes, sir.
the biggest thing.
Yes, sir.
All these things will get in between and they will try to uproot what you've already worked so hard for. That you can't even sleep with your own husband. I got a problem with that.
That's right.
I got a problem with that. And the next thing you know, you're finding yourself, there is going to be a division between you and him. And it all boils down to something simple, a simple problem.
That's right.
So because we had a simple issue that communication,
Yes.
we couldn't communicate. Now you done turned your back and I done turned mine. You know we do it.
That's right.
You know we do it. We get in the bed. Ain't got to. Don't even say it. You right. You right. He try to stroke you and you jump like you don't know where you are.
Girl, you better tell her.
You don't know what he wants. He didn't get closer. You get closer to the edge. You run, and you already know what he wants. And you got an attitude. You gotta learn how to bring that up under subjection, because you gotta learn how to know when something's causing conflict between you and your spouse. And these are things that you can allow, that you can take control of and keep in and keep going in order to rekindle your flame, in order to keep this flame burning. Know your spouse. Know him. Know his wants. Know his needs. Put a lot of times, listen, you gotta put yourself on the back burner. It ain't about you.
That's right. That's right.
That's true.
It's not about you. It's not. It's not about you.
That's right.
Think it is, you can hang it up.
It's not about you, honey. I done tried to tell him it ain't never about you.
That's right.
You better find out what rhythm you're dancing to.
Yes.
And when you and your husband on that same rhythm, guess what? You will be okay. But once you get off beat, you got haywire in this relationship. Whether it's lack of communication, the sex ain't gone, the money messed up, all of that right there. But in the midst of it, after all of that is said and done, he's still your husband. And needs still have to be met. So it's not always sexually. Sometimes it's just a conversation. Sometimes it's for you to sit and shut your mouth and listen.
That's right. That's right.
Huh? Because if you ain't listening, I done told you, April got a good ear. She got 2 of them.
Just gonna do whatever he say when he want.
That's what April gonna do. She's gonna do that. Now I don't know all who has experienced infidelity, but I have. But one thing I experienced in doing it, my husband is not ashamed to say. One thing I asked him was, why? What did I do? He said, it's not what you did, it's what you didn't do. And I said, well, man. Then he was Mr. What? What didn't I do?
He was Mr.
What didn't I do? He said, you didn't listen. Something as simple as not listening. Not listening, not just to respond or to be heard, but listening to understand. There's a difference. We can listen and say, oh, yeah, I heard you. Or we can listen and say, yeah, man, look, I heard what I say. I just know that you said something like this. You're not truly listening to understand. And listening is a key. You talking about talking? Listening goes with talking. Those 2 things work together. If he's talking, shut your mouth.
That's right.
Give him your undivided attention. Whether it's in the bedroom, the kitchen, the bathroom, wherever it is, give him your attention so that he knows eye contact, that he has your attention, that everything, it's all about you. Because you expect the same thing in return. And these are things and the principles that we can apply. And listen, don't be afraid. Stop walking in fear. Fear is a lot of things that hold us back, thinking that people are going to think a certain way about you. They're going to do that anyway.
Amen.
They're going to think that whether you do good or whether you do bad. But the one thing about it, you don't control what goes on with Team Davis. I'm going to tell you that right now. Because that's my dude. I didn't try to tell you. That there is my product. And that's what God has given me. Because I asked God, after all of this, and I've been told after 6 kids later, that, you got somebody who make you believe, again, your self-worth, make you believe that you're not who you say you are. Nobody's going to want you with these amount of kids and the way that you look. Ain't nobody going to want you. And you begin to believe that. Yes. And I said, God, the next man that you give me, don't give me nobody. I ain't got time for these little checker players. I ain't got time for that. I ain't got time for that. But the next man that you put in my life, guess what? I want him to be the one for me because I'm getting old now. My kids are getting older. And guess what? I'm ready to settle down.
Yeah, that's right.
I got all these little people looking at me. I ain't got time to be playing whether you like me or not. Do you love me? Check yes or no.
Yes, that's right.
Jungle, are you out? It's one or the other.
Yeah.
But when he is, and I'll say that he is truly my knight in shining armor. He was the one that God sent me to him. So you think I'm going to mess up because of you?
That's right. I know that's right.
And go slack because of somebody else?
That's right.
Even in spite of me, we can be our worst enemy.
That's right.
We can be our biggest enemy. We can hold ourselves back. I don't care how much you said, well, you made me do it. No, you did yourself because it's a choice. You got to choose how and choose when to open up your mouth, to talk, to be able to do. How am I going to keep the flame burning in my relationship?
That's right. That's right.
How? You ask yourself the question, how? What is it that I can do? What is it that I'm not doing? How can I enhance what I already have? She already said we were equipped. We already got the tools. We just got to learn how to utilize them. Stop asking God for more when you can't even use what you got. If you got 3 monkey wrenches, you better make one of them work. You better make one of them work because one of them is going to be the key to tighten that screw.
That's right.
So I need you to learn how to be. I told a young lady on the phone the other night, honey, I tear around my tool bag everywhere I go.
I know that's right.
Everywhere I go. You want to know why? Because I don't know at the spare of the moment how my husband going to do. I don't know what I need to do to come to his rescue. I don't know what it is. It could be something that we up against the opposition. But guess what? In doing that, hey, I got the right tools. Something here going to work.
Right.
We're so quick to talk negative. We got to be able to talk positive.
That's right.
That's it.
Stop using that word you. You this and you this. And I. And then now turn it into we. Us.
Yes.
Our relationship. Our marriage. Our kids. Our money. Not you. Yes, our money. Even if I want a little extra $20, it's still our money.
That's right.
words take these terms, and what it is takes these terms and conditions. When you say I do, that's what you did. You electronically signed that I'm committed to you for the rest of my life.
That's right.
I made a commitment to fulfill my vows.
That's right.
Through death do us part, sickness and health, whatever. You broke, I'm still there.
That's right.
You tired, I'm still there. You got a job, I ain't got a job, I'm still there. I don't feel like it, but let's hit the bedroom. I'm trying to tell you. It is what it is. You don't get to say no. It's not a switch that you can turn that flame on and off like the pilot light in your gas station. You can turn it off. Notice the gas company always tells you to keep that pilot burning.
That's right.
So no air get in the line and cause no explosion.
That's right. That's right.
That's good.
Keep the pilot light burning.
That's right. Burning.
Do what you have to do and what it takes to work for your marriage.
That's right.
How it should done.
All right.